During Lent, we remember the events that led up to the crucifixion. Jesus had come into the world to bring hope and light, but at every step there were those who could not accept the power of the light. He came to create a new relationship between God and human beings, but there were those who had other ideas. Because he could not be manipulated, they sought to kill him. In the Gospel of Matthew, we read, "When Jesus had finished teaching, he said to his disciples, 'In 2 days, as you know, it will be the Passover festival, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified.'" The chief priests and the elders met together in the palace of the high priest and made plans to arrest Jesus secretly and put him to death. "We must not do it during the festival," they said, "or the people will riot." Then one of the 12 disciples, the one named Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priest and asked, "What will you give me if I betray Jesus to you?" They counted out 30 silver coins and gave them to him. From then on, Judas was looking for a good chance to hand Jesus over to them. Betrayed by a kiss from a friend for 30 pieces of silver, anyone could have been the one. Jesus came as the truth, but it was too brilliant for those who liked the darkness. As a small bag of coins was traded from hand to hand, a little of the light that had come into the world went out.
John 11:17 through 44. On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, and many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in the loss of their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. "Lord," Martha said to Jesus, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha answered, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," she replied. "I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world." After she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary aside. "The teacher is here," she said, "and is asking for you." When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. When the Jews who had been with Mary in the house comforting her noticed how quickly she got up and went out, they followed her, supposing she was going to the tomb to mourn there. When Mary reached the place where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. "Where have you laid him?" he asked. "Come and see, Lord," they replied. Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, "See how he loved him?" But some of them said, "Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?" Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen, and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go."
The scene for this is Mary and Martha are on their way to comfort Mary, the mother of Jesus. It is early Sunday morning, the third day after the crucifixion. Come along now, Mary. Oh, gracious girl. I believe you're even slower today than normal. We must hurry along to pay our respects to the mother of Jesus. After all, it is the proper thing to do, and she must not think we are neglecting her.
I know we must go, but I'm really dreading this. I don't know what to say to her, and I'm afraid that seeing her will start me crying again.
Oh, mourning at the home of a loved one is always acceptable. It shows you cared. But please, can't you control yourself like an adult? You've been crying like a baby ever since he died.
I resent that, Martha. I'm as much an adult as you are. I can't help it if I feel things deeply, and I'm not stone cold as a tax collector like you. You say you loved him too, but you barely shed any tears for him.
Oh, that's not true, Mary. I have shed tears. At the crucifixion, they rolled down my face. I'm surprised you didn't notice. I just don't believe in carrying on forever. That's all.
Forever? This is only the third day after it happened, Martha. Only a Sabbath day separates those terrible events from this morning. Just a little while ago, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, went to anoint his dead body. How could you put it behind you so quickly? Really, don't you remember all he did for us?
Oh, of course I remember. Do you think you're the only one who cares just because your tears come easily for you? My pain and my tears are there too, inside of me. I just don't know the proper way to, the proper way to...
Proper? Why does everything have to be proper with you? Can't you just feel? You're my sister, Martha, but sometimes it feels or seems like you have to be my mother. Always superior, always in control.
Well, someone has to do it. Ever since Mother died, I've been the responsible one. Like the time when Jesus and his disciples came to our house for dinner, and you left me with all of the work.
He sided with me that time, remember?
Yeah, well, he was a man, and who could expect a man to understand such things? Still, the times I was with Jesus, those were the only times I didn't feel like I had to be in control. I knew he would take care of things, take care of us. Now he's left us alone with no one else to help. How could he leave us alone?
I'm sorry I was so harsh, Martha. Why do we always end up getting angry with each other?
I wasn't angry. I was just,
Oh, come on now, Martha. You were angry. Admit it.
Okay, I was angry. I was angry at you because everyone can see your grief and feel sorry for you. Well, I can't even express mine. And I was angry at me because I thought maybe I was cold. And I was angry at Jesus because he brought us comfort and hope. And then he just died. And it all crashed down on us.
It wasn't his fault, Martha. The Romans.
Oh, I know. But he could have stopped them. He was the Son of God, wasn't he?
Yes, I have thought of that too. If he had truly cared about us, he wouldn't have left us. That's what I thought. But we don't always understand his ways. And he'll show his power next. I know he will. You remember when our brother died, how angry I was that Jesus hadn't come to heal him? When he came later, I didn't even want to go out to meet him because I was so angry. Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. That's what I said to him. Then, when he later raised Lazarus from the dead, I felt embarrassed and guilty about my anger, yet he understood and forgave me. As I look back on his patience and love for me, I wonder what he'll do to help us make sense of all of his death.
What it is he'll do next. Dare we hope now that he will still have something he can do?
You know, Martha, he did speak of coming back to life on the third day. That would be today. Do you suppose?
Well, that he really will rise. Oh, I don't know, Mary. It would hurt so much if we hoped that it didn't happen. I don't know if I could handle that.
I know, but remember our brother. When we had no hope, he came to us. If Jesus did it once, you know.
Well, here we are dawdling again with you as a sister.
Oh.
It's a wonder we get anything done.
I'm sorry.
Oh, come along now.
Okay. Come along where?
Why,
We haven't even been any. What are we doing?
Why, come along to see Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, of course. We must hear what they have to say about the resurrection of our other brother, our Lord. Oh, you didn't expect that we would go to see Jesus' mother, did you? Oh, who goes to comfort the mother of the risen Lord? Oh, my goodness, such an idea.
Oh, such an idea indeed. Lead on, dear sister. I promise not to dawdle.
Oh, and to think we are sisters.
I know.
Who would ever suspect it?
I know.
What grace is mine that he who dwells in endless light called through the night to find my distant soul, and from the scars poured mercy that would plead for me, that I might live and in the name be known. So I will go wherever he is calling me. I lose my life to find my life in him. I give my all.
grace is mine, to know His breath alive in me. Beneath His wings, my weary soul may soar. All fear can flee, for death's not right is overcome. My Savior lives, and reigns I lose my life to find my life in Him. I give my all to the greatest love that ever dies, that ever dies. I bow my heart, take up my cross and follow Thee. I bow my heart, take up my cross and